to OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker. And on TSN 4. Bryan Hayes,
Oh, no, whoa.
How did that just happen? Al's brother just popped in for Luke Willson.
That was awesome. That face was just staring.
That's my guy right there. We still are working on
You guys
our
are working on
I got to tip my cap right off the front. I understand that me and Partsy winning, and we've been a little arrogant at times is annoying. But somehow, within two picks,
I know.
You guys have now become the most annoying duo on planet Earth. It's unbelievable.
Listen,
it's unbelievable.
I can't control what happens around us.
And yet, have you made up any ground? Have you made up any?
Wasn't it a push last night?
I guess not. I guess technically not. But
guess not.
What we've picked up is momentum. That's what we've picked up. Momentum counts.
There's a lot of
what you picked up, and I hope Al's brother's listening right now,
is
you got two wins.
Yeah.
Both teams, their starting quarterback was hurt. Geno came back, and you missed a field goal, talking about Seattle. Complete luck, and you can't come on here and just own up. Terrible fundamental pick. We got lucky. I'm reading these texts saying, we're 2-0, we're incredible, we won't lose again.
I don't know what to tell you. Tremendous information plus gut instinct equals a dynasty.
That's the biggest fluke win of all time.
The Baltimore pick's one of the great picks in gambling history. And that's just a straight fact. I'll grant you that Seattle puked a little bit, but as I said earlier, if Kenny Pickett had normal hands, they win that by 2 touchdowns. The Steelers had the ball 10-10 on the 50-yard line, and they go 3 and out. They get the ball back again.
You're acting like the Steelers' offense is good. They were terrible.
Exactly.
Kenny Pickett threw for 106 yards.
You had
when are we going to make a call with sausage fingers? When are we going to make a call?
Now is the moment. But the problem is
he can't play.
Who are they going to put in? Trubisky?
No, that's the issue is you got to skate through the rest of the year. Tomlin's still falling on the sword for him. He's making excuses for him, which is going to happen because Pickett's their guy. Yes, Kenny Pickett's their guy. They don't have another option. I mean, you look at what happened in New York. They finally moved off Zach Wilson. Who did they replace him with?
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
That is the least quarterback name of all time. Tim Boyle.
Timmy Boyle.
That's a jobber's name.
Oh,
that is the Macho Man versus Tim Boyle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. With coordinated knee pads and shorts.
Also,
Boyle.
O-Dog. I'm not going to lie to you. I got Seward on here Friday. You weren't on here. Noodles wasn't on here.
Well, let's hear it.
JP in the group, you were in the group, was supposed to read a statement. They were supposed to take it to a vote. That's what I was under the impression.
Dude, I asked for it. I said, can you guys please vote to take that game off the board because of the injury to Burrow?
It's so
and
pathetic.
These guys are minus 45 at the No Balls Golf Invitational, and they did not do it.
Yes.
Oh, dog. And then I came on here expecting this vote, expecting a democratic process as per what was agreed on in the group. And I got ganged up on. I got bullied. Al's brother got in on the joke. JP Seward me. See what happens?
See,
it was unbelievable.
Did you?
And then we came out and won 2 games. That's what Team Owen Wilson does. You guys undefeated on the weekend.
And I'm happy for you guys because we're inspiring greatness. There's no better compliment for Hazenbro than for us to inspire you to try to win more games. We're not going to lose. You understand what you're facing.
Tonight you won't pick this.
Tonight we're getting
I promise you that. I know who Al's brother is going to pick.
This is a good game.
It's a great
Al's
game.
brother is going to. He's going to have terrible facts, which I'll be able to counter very easily, and he's going to pick Kansas City.
We'll see.
And Kansas City will not win this game.
We'll see
tonight.
in 15 minutes. Al's brother will be joining us. I'm concerned about this game, though, tonight because it's the most hyped game of the season, arguably. Right. And the hype has not been good for the NFL this year. Yeah. Case in point, Thursday night. Maybe the previously most hyped game was Baltimore-Cincinnati, and it was a blowout. Burrow got injured. Both teams off a bye. Best team in the AFC, best team in the NFC. Reed versus Philly. Mahomes versus Hurts. Kelsey brothers. This better be a good game tonight.
I can't talk about it because when I start talking about it, I know Al's brother's listening.
Our pick is locked in.
No, it's not.
Yes,
no, it's not.
It's been locked in since 3 o'clock
You're doing the reverse thing. I heard you
I want
say,
Philly bad.
I
want Philly bad.
You're saying
I know what he wants.
You better take KC. I heard him say take KC.
Take KC.
No, I know what you're
I
doing.
want Philly in this bat.
No, you want Kansas City because Mahomes and Reed off a bye are undefeated.
See, here come the numbers, dog. Just no football knowledge.
But it's the truth.
Oh, it's the truth. We read it on Twitter.
They are undefeated off a bye in Kansas City. Mahomes at home
Then take
with
Kansas
rest.
City.
We'll get to it, but we're trying to analyze the game. All right, let's move on to something different.
Yeah.
Is your boy Russell Wilson back?
No.
He's
This
not.
is the craest take of all
Look
time.
at his statistics. And
What-
they've won
look at
four in
his
a row.
statistics.
I'm kind of Partsy. I disagree. I'm
he's not even close to
Hang
being
on.
back.
Let's ride.
So yesterday, I think he threw for 236.
Yes.
Okay. Before that, 5 straight games, he has not reached 200 yards.
He doesn't turn the ball
Okay.
over.
Okay, that's fair. That's one good thing he's got going
That
on.
seems pretty important.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big stat. Also,
Yeah.
they can't throw the ball down the field. The game yesterday against Josh Dobbs and the Minnesota Vikings came down to Sutton making a diving catch with one hand on 4th and 3. If you ask me if Russell still has magic left, which I was a part of a lot of his magic, yes. Is he back? No, this team can barely operate offensively, and their defense is like, oh, they're playing a lot better. Yeah, compared to what? The 70 points they got hung on them? Yesterday, they still got gashed on the ground. I mean, it was bad. What is going to happen when they play a team? And yes, everyone's going to say, well,
They just
they got
beat two
Kansas
good
City.
teams.
They got Buffalo
Buffalo
is not a good team.
But Buffalo's not a horrible team.
Buffalo
At
puked all
Buffalo,
over themselves. That had nothing to do with Denver. I'm not giving Denver.
I don't
Denver
think
drop the balls.
Listen,
Did
I don't
Denver
think
fumble the snaps.
I don't think Denver's going to make the playoffs. But
Thank you.
I was the first one to jump on Sean Payton for being remarkably arrogant, for looking like a buffoon after running Nathaniel Hackett out, losing 70-20.
They're 5-5.
Russ looked brutal. But they've won 4 in a row. You got to give credit where credit's due. They've looked good. They've beaten good teams.
Hayes,
Minnesota's 6-5.
if you watch this offense,
I understand
you cannot
that.
say
But
Russell is playing well.
collectively, what is his touchdown to pick to interceptions like 16-2
That's
or
because-
something?
In the Bills
Partsy,
game,
you always
that's a
said,
great
Partsy,
stat.
the main goal in the league is to win games. You got to give them a little bit of props. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl contenders, but
they're better than we thought.
They
Yes.
deserve
It's
credit
not a
for
complete
4 in a row.
dumpster fire. Yes.
Yes, they deserve. And what about the Bills? Like, it was the Jets, but they got a big win. They're 6-5.
It's a great step in the right direction.
Are the Bills in the race?
Yeah, not in the. I don't think they're going to be.
Currently,
in the
they're out of the
division
playoffs, but no, they're not going to. Well, Miami. I love
Miami
Miami
is also.
yesterday,
They have fraudulent activities.
yes, they do, and they can't beat good teams.
fraudulent activities.
They have fraudulent
You didn't like
activities going on
that.
there.
You didn't like that Miami win or what?
I didn't like it at all. I thought they should have came in there against the Raiders team, and I understand Antonio Pierce, blah 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 blah. But we're talking Miami. To me, should be a team that is a Super Bowl in the conversation with a Super Bowl contender. And if you're a Super Bowl contender right now, you go into the Raiders and you blow the doors off that team. Aiden
Right.
O'Connell is playing.
Right.
I mean, come on. And
You-
yeah, they got it done.
13-10. What was it?
Something gross.
It was
it
20 to
2013 maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't
was
cover.
Not a good. It was not a good.
They
no,
did not
didn't
cover.
The
And it was
Bills,
struggle.
though, listen, you guys know I'm not the biggest Bills fan. The Jets defense is legit. So that offensive performance by the Bills is a very, very good one. But as we know now, we got to see it consistently done, and we need to see it when there's more pressure on.
Well, they're at
Zach
Kansas
Wilson gives no
City.
that's
they
pressure.
got Philly coming up.
Yes.
They got the Chargers. The Chargers are a joke. Look what happened again yesterday. My Packers look good. Jordan Love looked good.
Look good.
He legitimately looked good. Now, this will be a test. And I liked what LaFleur said after the game. This week, they're at Detroit, short week. The Lions are legit, great defense. Like, this will be a test run for the Packers.
Right.
And they're not going to get back into the race. I don't see that in the NFC. But Love this whole season was about the platform, give him a chance to prove he can do something.
Yeah.
And I think he had a good start, and then it was awful. And this week he's looked pretty good. In the last couple of weeks, I think he's played better.
And he's got an opportunity. The Chargers' pass defense is very, very bad. He obviously exposed that. And the Detroit's pass defense is not great either. So I think Love's got an opportunity to build on something. Am I saying the Packers will win? No, but I do think if he plays well, Love has an opportunity to put some good stats up.
What about your boy C.J. Stroud? Have we adjusted our MVP conversation with him? That was a win yesterday, a big one, kind of an ugly win, which is impressive.
Ugly
sometimes.
win. And what I thought was most impressive was I think they were 9 of 13 on third downs. And for my, viewpoint, when you look at a quarterback in this league, the two toughest things they have to do is third down conversions and red zone. And for a rookie to be in there and go 9 of 13 on third down, again, you're going to be seeing a variety of different coverages, pressures, etc. And to shred a defense like that was where I was like, this kid is operating at a very different level than most rookies. The red zone stuff he needs to clean up. I mean, I believe there were 2 picks yesterday in the red zone. But again, I'm chalking that up to him being a rookie. Like, if you're the Texans right now, you couldn't be more thrilled with how this guy is playing and how he's reacting even to the mistakes he's making.
Right.
You know, it's easy. This kid's young. He's got all this hype right now on him. He throws a pick. It almost costs him the game. No, comes right back out there. Doesn't affect him. That kind of resiliency to me is really why I'm like, okay, now we got to take notice.
That's a sign of great quarterbacks. Like every quarterback's going to throw an interception, fumble a snap. It's not about worrying, when that's going to happen. It's about how you react to it happening.
Yeah.
Because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And the greatest of all time, and I'm not saying that that's the category he's in right now, but generally that next drive, like, it's legit.
Yes.
Like, watch this, man. I just threw a pick, but I'm going to redeem myself. And he's been doing that all season.
And I believe Noah Brown wasn't in there, one of his main guys. I mean, Tank Dell went off again. Schultz had a TD, not a huge game stat-wise, but it's not like it's just one guy. So it's very impressive.
Then there's Tommy DeVito with the New York
Baller.
Giants.
Yeah, there's
Baller.
Danny DeVito. That's
Danny
the first
DeVito.
thing. That's where I was.
But the wild thing is, it's such a cool story. This guy's still living with his parents.
That's not cool. That part's not cool.
He should never
she
go
makes
public
chicken
with that.
cutlets for him when he gets
She
home.
makes his bed. He admitted to that. She's like, yeah, my mom makes my bed. And I'm like, dude, you're in the National Football League. You're in your 20s.
Yeah.
What about bar play alone?
That's a horrible look. Horrible look.
Mom, the meatloaf is in the basement.
But if you're a Giant fan, you don't want this guy to have success. You need to lose every game. Like, now with that win, that separates them even further from Carolina, Arizona, New England. Like, you can't root for this story.
Fair.
You
That's
want
fair.
to lose every single game. You've gone this far. Lose every game. Try to pick Caleb Williams.
And then
shouldn't that be the mentality of
that
the Giants
can't
fan?
be the mentality. I mean, of the fan.
It
yes,
is. Of
not
the
in
fan
the
base,
locker
not
room.
in the locker room. I understand
Yes.
that. You show up. Dable's there to win games. DeVito's going to play. The
Yes.
players are going to play. But if you're a fan, you're so conflicted because it's kind of a cool story. Third stringer no one's heard of before that lives with his parents. But you're like, can you not do this?
That's
Please?
fair.
Like, please lose the ball game.
That's okay. But here's something I was, pondering. I actually saw my guy Richard Sherman today talking about Brock Purdy. And no circumstance am I comparing Tommy DeVito and Brock Purdy. I just want to put that out there. But this whole idea, I think Brock Purdy is changing the narrative of football right now in the sense of when this is said and done, you talk about Stroud being an MVP. How is Brock Purdy not in the conversation at this moment? No one really talks about Brock Purdy. You look numbers across the board, this guy has been dominant. He had a couple games where he wasn't great. Other than that, I mean, yesterday he had, I believe, a perfect rating. This is insanity. And Debo was out. McCaffrey was banged up for a bit. Trent Williams, your starting left tackle. Again, that's where they struggled a little bit. And the argument is, he has got a lot of pieces around him. So what? At the end of the year, this guy's stats are going to be probably the best in the NFL.
Right.
I think that it's becoming more, evident, or there's more evidence, I should say, that maybe you don't need a first-round pick. You need a good coach who can take a game manager, have him make good decisions, and load everything up around him.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, that's a case study for it. There's no doubt. Like, Shanahan clearly is a stud, and they got studs
all around
him. But that's the thing. How do you get Bosa and Warner and Debo and Kittle and McCaffrey? Like, that's tough, man.
It is very tough.
Those are Hall of Famers.
Legendary. Like,
Yes, like superstars.
Bad analogy, but do you remember Detroit Red Wings win the Cup?
I'm
Chris
a Windsor
Osgood
kid.
in-
I
So
remember.
Ozzy.
Exactly.
And he had
I
7 Hall of
hated the
Famers.
Wings. I'm a Leaf guy.
Right, but so you had 7 Hall of Famers in front of Ozzy. Ozzy still stopped pucks. But it was like, I
It was
look
like
at
18 a game instead of
Well,
35.
but,
but still, he stopped the puck.
he did his job, but is he an amazing Hall of Fame goaltender, or is he a product of how great that team was? That's what you're talking about.
100%. And the next example I'll put is Minnesota. Up until last night, up until the magic from Russ, that team was going to be on the verge of winning 6 straight, was it?
I think so, yeah.
And it's imagine this team now with Justin Jefferson when he comes back.
Right.
Addison's look great. Hawkinson is very good. KJ Osborne's a great, number 2, 3 option.
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
My
God. Yeah,
Your
and
boy
it's
Kirk
like-
Cousins.
Addison and even the new kid Chandler there, the backup back last night, I think had 70. So my point is, all of a sudden, and I'm not trying to dog my guy Josh Dobbs, but he's operating the offense, other than a turnover yesterday, at a pretty high level. It's like there's going to be a lot of GMs that kind of sit here and say, hey, maybe we don't need, or we're not in line to get a Caleb Williams. Let's go a different route. That's my only point with this
Okay.
thing.
You know what that sounds like? Tremendous information.
Wow.
Yes. One half of the most dangerous gambling duo on planet Earth right now. I'm on a solo shot here. That's how impressive Al's brother's been so
Trying to
far.
work
There he
him in
is. Look at this. Look at me right
Right.
in the middle
What do
of
you
it.
guys think?
There you
Wednesday?
go, Al's brother.
Incredible horns.
There you go.
Some sort of.
Oh, dog, can you believe these guys?
Wolfpack,
Oh, it's
Wolfpack.
it's so embarrassing. What do you
what it
think?
is, that's a
Wednesday,
wolf?
Wednesday we
Al's
host. Noodles host a football trivia for 1 point in the standings.
We would accept that all day, right, Al's brother? How do you feel about that?
I would love to beat you in some trivia,
Thank you. See, look how confident we are. We are.
Artsy, are
brimming
you
with
involved?
confidence.
Luke, you got to help me out. Obviously,
You wanna
you're
put
my
a point
guy.
on the line?
Of course. I'm just at the point now, Partsy, where these guys are schmucks or clearly scumbags. We need to have the rules. We need to have the rules established beforehand.
I agree.
Because these guys are slimy.
You guys are coming up with this idea, but we're the ones that you have to worry about. I know what that guy in the top left is thinking right now.
This guy can't even tweet. Did you see his tweet earlier?
Who, Al's brother?
Yeah, he's so worried. Put this up there, man.
I have
this
not
guy
seen
is
that.
so worried about what's going on tonight. He can't even tag the show correctly. He tries to put a show out there for OverDrive.
that was
He's
tough.
tweeting at an American trucking company.
Al's brother. What are you doing, Al's
He goes to
brother?
a Swifty
was-
thing, which is unbelievable. Click the OverDrive link if we can. You see, it's got the ad OverDrive.
Yeah.
You got to get
Uh-oh,
that
click
right.
on it.
Oh, no.
I
no.
know.
What a loser.
OverDrive
The
magazine.
voice of the American trucker. That's who's on your team.
That's shameful, Al's brother. Explain
I know.
yourself.
I realized
too.
that after. That was a tough one. I'll take the L on that. Was a tough one
He's in
there. I tried. It was one of those
I'll be
things where
honest,
it
though.
came up as one of the tags, and I clicked on it, and I didn't realize until way afterward, and I was like,
How
oh
many
no, I'm just gonna have
messages-
to wear the L.
How many messages has that guy got on Twitter
know.
going, I totally disagree with you, O-Dog, right? Or Noodles, you suck. And the guy's like, what the hell is going on?
I know. What was
Like-
it? A trucking magazine from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He's going to have to chew on mentions for the rest of the year because Al's brother. But I'm actually more intrigued by the rest of that message. I had not seen that, but did that suggest we lost Al's brother? We'll get him back here in a minute. Is he
Now he can't even operate his
still
camera.
on the line, or have we lost him altogether? We still got him. Okay, we'll get him back on the screen. Al's brother, are you suggesting your mom is feeding you tremendous information on this football game tonight? Is that what I read correctly?
Yeah, so the other day she asked me, who's on the Monday Nighter? And I was like, Hayes and I are on the night. And she's like, okay, well, just know that Taylor Swift's parents are going to be in the building for the game. I think that's pertinent information for you guys. I said, okay, sounds good. And then she tells me a little update today with a text that said this. Says, actually, T-Swift's fam won't be at the game tonight as she had to make up a postponed show in Brazil, so won't be in town, so that shouldn't be a factor tonight. Could be a distraction to Travis Kelce.
Ooh, I like that. See, that's the kind of tremendous information that only Hayes and Bros can supply. And what we do with that information is we digest it, we let it simmer, and then we spit out basically gut instinct takes on that. So with that in mind,
Thank you.
that is pretty significant that actually Taylor Swift, what that would suggest is Swift was planning on flying up from Brazil to be at the game tonight.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty decent dedication.
Hayes.
Grant her that.
2 weeks ago, I would have said that you're the fan favorite. You're now spewing Taylor Swift nonsense, and
Well-
you're about to become the world's most hated man.
No, that's not true. You know why we might be hated?
I'm
Al's
trying
brother?
to save you, man.
I'm
trying to
telling you right
save
now, I can tell you what's happening around the world. FanDuel, Vegas, there's a lot of different books. They are shut down until we spit out our take. Right? The books are
waiting.
down around
They're
the world
waiting.
because the line's going to be adjusted immediately.
They're waiting.
We are literally
They flipped
moving
it on
lines.
Friday.
That's right.
They flipped
Al's
our
brother.
Rams line on Friday. They're like, oh no, these guys know something. We
That's
should
right.
probably flip this.
That's right.
So,
For sure.
Immediately
Oh,
it
for
flipped.
sure.
Yes. So, Al's brother, you do the honors for us because we have
Please
the
take
pick.
the
The pick's
Chiefs.
been established for hours. It is Chiefs minus 2.5 against the Eagles. The game is Kansas City, probably the most hyped game of the season. It's going to be a great one. Hayes and Bro making their third pick. We are 2-0 on our picks so far this season.
From the chopper, from Al's brother's chopper.
From Al's brother Chopper. Yeah, it does sound as if there's possibly some audio issues
He's
here.
Les
but
Nessman from WKRP.
Al's brother, please make the pick and explain why we're taking who we're taking.
on behalf of Team Hayes and Bro, we are selecting the Philadelphia Eagles and the points tonight, gentlemen. Look, I mean, you got your fancy stats out there that are saying that Kansas City, this duo, undefeated, didn't change anything. This duo, undefeated, coming off a bye. So is the duo of Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Sure, a bit of a smaller sample size, but undefeated is still undefeated. But here's where I like the advantage here for the Eagles tonight. Take a look at the weather report. There's been rain all day in Kansas City. They're expected to see rain throughout the entire game, and that's where I think that the Eagles will take advantage. They're averaging 129 yards per game on the ground and have the best offensive line win rate in football. Kansas City, 17th rush defense, giving up chunk plays, ranking 29th in yards given up per carry at 4.5 yards. And look, you got Philly averaging 32 rushing attempts per game. I think they're going to absolutely carve this team up. And KC won't be able to run the ball either. They can't run on this Eagles defense. No one has been able to. They've been averaging just 66 yards against per game. It's insane. I really believe that KC will not be able to get anything going in the run game, and they're actually uncharacteristic with the football this year.
That's right.
They have averaging 2 giveaways per game. It's 29th in the NFL. You give Philly extra possessions, let them run the ball, kill the clock, they should win this game.
That's right,
We're
Al's
on
brother.
the Eagles, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagle, fly. I love it, Al's brother, because that type of tremendous information is enough to push it over the line. Push it over the line. But on top of that, I will add the gut instinct. Super Bowl redemption.
Dude, that's not gut instinct.
Super Bowl
you
redemption.
never bet against Mahomes at home after a bye.
Let him know. Let him know, Partsy.
I'll give you an
This
example.
guy's a fraud.
Here's
and
how
a
I see this
jerk.
playing out. Here's how I see this playing out. I think it was either week 5 or week 6, 2022. Buffalo Bills went into Arrowhead. They won the game, I believe, 24-20. Because you know what happened the year before that? They got beat by Kansas City in the playoffs. Redemption on the road
That's
at
right,
Arrowhead.
Partsy.
Everyone said the same thing.
Can I ask you a
Don't
question?
bet against Mahomes and Reed at home. They're coming off a bye. Well, Philly's coming off a bye. I think Philly's a better team top to bottom. The redemption, Taylor Swift is in there. Travis Kelce's going to puke all over himself tonight. Love the Eagles plus points. I love the Eagles on the money line tonight.
Was there any thought maybe that about this Eagles secondary defense versus Patrick Mahomes?
Not in the least.
Now
Not with
we're
only
talking-
Travis
now
Kelce.
we're talking
How many
about real
weapons does
football.
Patrick Mahomes
How many
have?
does he need against this defense?
He needs one.
The
He'll be double
league's
teamed.
worst
He'll be-
yards given up through the air.
Not a concern at all.
Not worried about it.
Not
What
a
you
concern.
need
Not
to be
worried about it.
I'm going to sit here and tell you what you need to be concerned about, and I'll send the text. If this becomes a game like a very physical game, the Eagles establish the run early, it's a
Right.
great pick. However, let's say Philadelphia wins the toss, they defer. The Chiefs get the ball. Ding, 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 7-0. They get a stop.
Yeah.
The second drive, because the Chiefs need to continue that, they score again. If Philly finds themselves in a hole here, look out. Because now all of a sudden you guys are in trouble. This one's going to be decided in the first quarter. And Partsy, I'm not going to lie, I was hoping they were going to take the Chiefs. I wasn't lying about that. But after he said Patty Mahomes, let's roll, baby.
No,
Luke, these guys can't catch a pass in normal sunlight. You think in rain these dudes going to catch a pass? Good
I'm gonna
luck,
be
Sky
honest, you
Moore.
guys-
I don't
Right.
think so.
You guys have the
Exactly.
world's worst karma for celebrating not one but 2 starting quarterback injuries and acting like you guys are great. We got screwed on the spread, like you said. The Rams were -1.5 before that game.
That's 'cause we
Jay
picked-
Myers couldn't make a field
We
goal.
got a donkey and a fraud giving
Boom.
us reports, and
That's
another
right.
guy flying around in a chopper giving traffic reports. How do you take these two guys seriously? Because I can't,
I
and
totally
I won't.
agree. There it is,
We've
dog.
been picking winners, fellas. We've been picking
That's
winners.
right. I was
You guys have
we
won
will
2
push
games.
one across the line.
You have
again
won
tonight.
2 games.
That's all we've had.
We are 29-2.
You know who we were also on last night?
Who?
The Montreal Alouettes money line. Al's brother and I had a
That's
conversation about
Yeah.
that, and we were
Felt-
like, you know
felt
what? We
strong
love the
about it.
Alouettes money
You're-
line tonight.
you might as well be
we love
speaking
Cody
Mandarin to me.
Fajardo.
I have no idea
We
what
love,
that
we
means.
love Fajardo.
I don't
and the
know what
Owls
that
last night.
means.
There wasn't a game on the board that we didn't see clearly, and we're seeing it clearly tonight. This pick brought to you by Visine, because we are seeing it so clearly. It's ridiculous. Al's brother and I, doesn't matter how it sounds, it looks beautiful. It's not how
This
it's how
guy
many.
is tweeting at Tuscaloosa Trucking Company.
That's concerning, I will admit. It's very concerning. It's quite frankly lazy, Al's brother. Please know what you're doing before you send out a tweet. You're representing
Yeah,
a dynasty
that's my
here.
bad.
You got to own that, man. It's got to be the right handle on Twitter. But we're on the Eagles tonight. Plus
It's a
2.5.
good pick. It's a solid pick.
I hope it's a good
Congratulations,
game.
guys.
In all seriousness, I think it's going to be a fun game. I hope it's a good game. Listen, Mahomes and Reed coming off a bye at home, it is tough to bet against that.
I would've
But the
taken the
Eagles
Eagles.
are a really
Yeah, I
good
would've
team.
taken the Eagles.
I think they're a better team top to bottom. The weather, I think, factors in.
The run game is
The
gonna
run
be
game,
crucial.
it's going to be physical. I think it's Super Bowl redemption. That's a gut instinct.
Yeah, Denver
on Philly tonight.
gashed this KC defense on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Miami gashed them in the second half. They really got stymied in the first half. I thought they abandoned the run. Talking about Kansas City's defense.
Right.
So if the Eagles come out here, which I think they will, and really try and pound this rock, whether it's Swift, whether it's Gainwell, whether it's Hurts, even on just a couple design runs, add that wrinkle in there, it'll be tough sledding. But Mahomes is magical, baby. And all we got to do is win by a field goal.
That's
2.5 is the line.
All right, we'll see. Hey, listen, betting against Mahomes is dangerous.
It is dangerous.
But we like to live
Reid,
dangerously.
too. Andy Reid is.
This is potentially the worst pick in OverDrive history. We'll see tonight.
Al's brother and I, we too like to live dangerously. And we're
That's
taking
right.
the Eagles tonight, Al's brother. I'll catch you on the group chat in about 2.5 hours.
Yes, sir. You can't see it, but I'm doing the wolf pack right now.
Yes. All right,
Doing
there
the
you go,
wolf
pal.
pack.
I'll do that too. And fly, Eagles, fly. We'll hit everything. There's Al's
Yes,
brother.
sir.
All right, Hayes and Bro on the Eagles tonight. All right, Luke, we'll leave it there. Good luck tonight, man. We don't need it. We don't need anything. We're picking winners. Pro athlete salute. There you go. There's Luke Willson and Al's brother. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4. OverDrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Some Tiger Woods news over the weekend. That indoor league is going to be postponed now until 2025. You see that because the dome they were building collapsed. There was like a big windstorm or something, and yeah, they have to postpone the season altogether. The whatever it is, TGL is what it's called.
It's not a good look.
No.
It's like
terrible.
it kind of had a rinky-dink feel to it because I personally have no idea what the hell I'm getting into, and I'm into everything Tiger Woods. But that's got a rinky-dink look to it when you're postponing something. Like, I would imagine you would have had to put in place, spent a lot of money to put people in place to have that thing up and ready to go.
Yes.
And now it's another year.
Yeah, my spidey senses are wondering if it really is just about the venue and not about them realizing, this isn't building up the way we wanted to.
Yeah.
Because remember, John Rahm pulled the chute.
The excitement about it kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of like, what is this? And now maybe they're going to recalibrate, and eventually it's going to happen. And it did. The place did collapse, so there's no disputing that. But
Tell you what, that dude in Georgia,
Ludwig
Oberg might be the next Tiger Woods. The way that guy plays,
he
golf.
shot
That
61-61, I think he was on the weekend.
dude. Mac Hughes was 60-63 and lost to the guy on the weekend.
Yeah, by like 4 shots.
Is he this good? Like, how old is this kid?
He's
24.
24.
Auburn.
He's Swedish. He was the #1 player in college. Like
He's
this guy.
6'4", munches it off the tee, and can putt, and he's unflappable.
Yeah.
And his last, if you've been tracking him, his last 10 starts, he's just sniffing around the lead every time.
Yeah, he's top 10.
He's outrageous, man. Yeah, he's outrageous.
Yeah, he is. Like this guy. Like it's happened quickly, but the golf world was prepared for this guy. But I don't think he's in the Hero Challenge. He might be, but Tiger will be there in a couple of weeks. So Tiger's playing. Like it's his tournament, but Tiger's going to be playing, and it's a 4-day tournament. Everyone makes a cut down in the Bahamas, and yeah, so Tiger's back on the comeback trail. And the question is, does he make it to Augusta and beyond? How often? Like if he's playing the Hero, which is his tournament,
Right.
But every year it's like, well, he'll play 5 times, 6 times. I'm like, all right, if this counts. He played Riviera last year. Is he going to play Riv again? I would guess that's his tournament. So does he play the Genesis, the Hero, 4 majors? Maybe, sneaks in another tournament or 2. I don't know. We'll find out. But I feel like every year, every 6 to 8 months, we get back to this with Tiger. It's like, how much is he actually going to play?
Does he send out an update of how his health is?
No, he's pretty discreet.
Just shows up, right? Like you just kind of.
He just in the past, what he's done is he'll get someone to videotape him hitting a wedge shot and be like, getting better, and then the whole golf world goes absolutely insane. Remember the one before the Masters? I think it was like Stinger time is back, and everyone lost their marbles, and he ended up playing in the Masters. So it's just, I just want to see him play in a tournament where if he hits some skank balls, he doesn't grab his ass cheek or his leg and start hobbling around. You know what I mean? Just play the golf tournament. I want to see you walk around normally for 4 days.
It does seem to be kind of understood that when he's playing well, he's healthy, and when he's not, all of a sudden
There's something.
I want him in a
something
cart.
flares
I
up.
want him in a cart like daily and just bomb around.
The hero
there.
could do it. I don't think it's a sanctioned tournament, is it? Like, it's not a PGA official
Dude,
event.
Tiger Woods would never ride around in a
I
golf
know that,
cart like
but
John
that's the
Daly
one to
blowing
do it.
darts and drinking beers at the U.S.
Well,
Open.
John
That
Daly.
Bethpage
You don't need
Black.
to. Well, yeah. Didn't Daly, did he try to get a card at Augusta? I feel like there's a history of him like suing.
I thought there
Augusta
was a
National.
lawsuit or some form of something because
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't stop watching. Like, you get caught down a rabbit hole on Instagram or something, and it's John Daly like in sandals with a guy, and he's hitting,
Plays barefoot all the time.
like he just gets up there and lays it out right on the on the green. Like, it's
Well,
ridiculous.
he loves getting, like, he's not afraid to put himself out there and just get absolutely gooned with people he doesn't know.
Right.
And then he takes videos with them. And it's like, does he not know that those are going to be viral? Like, he's blowing darts, he's cooked. He's outrageous.
Yeah, he does not care. And he just
he doesn't care.
He motors around, literally motors around. I think he's kind of like John Madden. I don't think he flies. I think he's just got
So
like
he's on a
motorhome.
bus or something, yeah.
Bus, and he just drives around and shows up at a Hooters and goes and plays 18 and gets buckled, and that's his life. It's pretty wild.
He doesn't drink water, right? He drinks Diet Coke.
I
or
think he
something. Like
drinks a
Trump.
lot of Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
and
I don't
it's like
know.
McDonald's fountain pop.
Hammers Miller Lights.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, he
hammers.
really likes it.
Yeah. Old school.
Yeah, it is. It's some school, I'll tell you that. All right, Rod Smith in about a half an hour. Pierre LeBrun coming up in about an hour. The Jays, they're in on everyone. You see every day there's another
Okay, so
report. They're in on everybody.
They're in on everybody, but
talking with everybody.
are they out on Manoah? Like,
Well,
is Manoah available? I want to know that.
We had another rival executives are saying report over the weekend. Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic reported that, I guess, rival executives in the league believe that Manoah is available.
I wouldn't do that. I don't. That's just my opinion. I just think that you got to bring him back and see what he's got this year. You give him the mandate and see what it's like coming back, and if it blows up, although then maybe no one's sniffing around if they're going to offer you something. Because if he's a gas can when he comes back, there's
it's
no
over.
leverage. There's nothing coming back. It's basically over.
The thing is, though, you're right, because it could have just been a disaster year and you allow him to reset, get in shape, and come back. Unless they know something. Unless they know something about this guy at, period. Like, it's not coming back. If they're like, this guy is lost, there's no chance he's going to get back to the form of 2 years ago, that's when you move on.
Yeah, and then you're selling something that isn't there, right?
You're selling 2 years ago.
Exactly, and you're selling to other teams like, hey, listen, he's still this, he's still that. There's another possible thing at play here, and that is just bad blood between the two parties that can't be resolved.
That's
What
true.
could his
Like
bad
that.
blood be, Hayes? What does he just want to be gift wrap starts
Yes.
when he can't even? What?
Yes, I think that would be the bad blood. I don't know what his reasoning would be there, like how he could say it with a straight face.
Any grown-ass man with any integrity, he should be apologizing to everybody in the organization and saying, I'll do my best to come back and make it right and return to the guy that started in the All-Star game. If he tries to place the blame on anybody, I would just say piss off to begin with.
Well,
because that would be ludicrous.
That could be the case.
Right.
The bad blood may be 75% Blue Jays, 25% Manoah. In other words, the Jays are the ones that are not willing to resolve it. Like, you can never trust everything that any executive in sports says publicly. Right? They all play the game.
I do agree with that.
They all play it, right? It's all understood and it's all accepted. Ross Atkins came out at the GM meeting saying they're so excited, they love Alek Manoah. That could be true.
Right.
But it also would not be shocking at all if behind the scenes they're like, we can't stand this guy. He screwed us. It's not going to work, and we got to get rid of him. Right? I don't know what the truth is, but I'm not going to take it at face value because Ross Atkins said on the record, we love him and it's all good, and they're excited, and he's going to return to form, because it very well could be a relationship that has been severed that they don't feel that they can
Yeah.
they can stitch back together. And that would not be the first time in pro sports history. It will not be the last.
But I'm just fascinated by the idea of a relationship severed. It's like,
well,
you showed up grossly overweight and you underperformed and you got to a point where you couldn't even get on the mound, and then you just said you weren't playing. So that's a one-way street. That's not a relationship.
I agree with you.
That's one guy that just tossed everything away.
Now,
what did the Blue Jays do? They tried to support him. They tried to cover everything up for him and didn't say a word about him all year. The truth, they didn't. They sure as hell didn't tell the truth. It would be a one-shot deal. We want to put eyes on you 2 weeks before spring training, and if you're a mess, it's no way. We'll just cut ties.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, that gets back to what Noodles was saying, that they might think that that's what's going to happen here.
Right.
So they're going to try to get out in front of it, prop it all up. We're all good. We love him. He's the best. But behind closed doors, they're like, we got to unload this guy now because he is worth nothing in 6 months.
Is still something there.
You're still selling hope. You're still selling a guy that was top 3 for the Cy Young 2 years ago. Right. I mean, that's ultimately where he's at. It's in there. There's a pitcher in there. Alek Manoah proved it for the better part of 2 years, 2.5 years. But this year was so tumultuous. It was such a disaster. Your assessment is absolutely accurate. It was a one-way street. They gave him the ball opening day. They called him up too early. They kept going to him. They kept saying publicly he's our guy, or they'd say nothing at all.
Right.
And he was a mess. He had one of the worst seasons we've seen in decades in this town.
Yes.
And yet, disrespect is in the eye of the beholder. It doesn't have to make sense, right? James Harden, what the hell is he always feeling disrespected about? I don't know. But guess what?
Too.
Every time he's like, I hate that guy. I want out of here. And it's the same thing. You're like, wait a minute. They gave you $45 million. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
I can't reason with it. But that doesn't mean it's not there.
I would love to ask Alek Manoah that and say, where is the disrespect coming from? Like, from who?
If he feels that way.
And why and how?
Yeah. To clarify, we don't know that, but if he feels that way, if it's a severed relationship, I can't quite fathom how that would be the case from Manoah's camp. I get it from a Blue Jays side of things.
Get Griff on tomorrow. I'm kind of got a little baseball itch. I want to talk to Griff tomorrow.
All right.
Well, you're right, but if they see something that is mechanical, if it's physical, something that they're like, okay, we got to get out from it, or they're like, that was a complete disaster, one-off, we expect him to get back to some form of a high-end level.
Mm-hmm.
Then you stand by the athlete because he's young and he's still, like you say, there's some sample size there. That wasn't a month that he had. He had a really good season and parts of the season before. But I don't know. Can you think of, in recent memory, that big of a drop-off where a guy just never got it back? The only one I can think of, and it's hockey, remember the goalie Jim Carey?
Yeah, but he
won Rookie of the Year.
He did. He had the one great
Rookie of the Year in the NHL, and then he couldn't stop anything after that.
That is a very good example, but I don't remember, was he a really highly touted prospect, and then the next year he fell off? I thought
he'd
so.
won AHL Player of the Year before, top goalie, then wins NHL Rookie of the Year the next year. So there's a 2-year sample size of this goaltender.
Yeah.
And then 4 or 5 years later, Hockey News can't find them.
Yeah, that was definitely a fault. I mean, Ricky Romero was an example here.
What about one in Calgary right now, Jonathan Huberdeau? He was up for the Hart Trophy and then couldn't play.
That one is almost a different study altogether.
It's ongoing right now.
Yeah, that one's wild because he had been in the league for a long time.
You're right. And there's a sample size there of 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
Not a year and a half, 2 years.
Third overall pick, stud.
Right.
I think he still got the records in Florida, does he not, for most points in franchise history?
Sure.
All that
he
kind
had
of,
115 points 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You're right. Huberdeau's different because at some point it drops off.
Yes.
These are young players where you're still trying to figure out people are still trying to figure out what you are at the professional, the top level.
Yes.
Hockey, baseball, you name it. I'm trying to think of other athletes where they've had such a disastrous either second or third year. Do they recover? And is this just a one-off? That's the question that we're all asking.
That's the thing. I can't give you an answer on the fly.
I hope it's just a one-off for the kids.
That is ideal. Ideal for everyone is bygones are bygones. Reset, have a great spring, reestablish yourself next year, even if it's not superstardom. Just start 30 games and have pretty good stats and be a good player.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll restart the clock. Move on. Everyone's happy. Not like he's making $30 million or something like that. He's still on a cheap deal. He's a young guy, young player. But that's a perfect world scenario. But
Yeah.
sports do not always abide by the perfect world rules, right? It doesn't always play out that way. Calgary's actually starting to win a couple games.
They've won 4 of 6.
Yeah, they're starting to get – it's at Edmonton. Who's starting tonight for them? Is it Skinner?
No, it's Pickard.
Pickard.
It has to be him. It has to be, right? Skinner can't keep playing every single night.
Well, they win 3 in a row, and then they lost. They were up 3-2 going into the third in Tampa.
And then all hell broke
The wheels
loose.
fell off.
Yeah.
And good for Tampa. I mean, they've been kind of hanging on there, like we talked about last week.
Edmonton is 5-10-1. Man, still
They
shocking.
do some weird things, man. And I'm not going to.
Brain dead hockey. I told you. We were texting.
Yeah,
they're in good shape, and all of a sudden.
What on earth are you doing? But Noodles, you talked me into saying it's not totally on goaltending, but there was some weird goals going in on that Jeff Skinner the other night in Tampa.
His numbers are terrible.
But you can't allow.
They are terrible.
They had over 40 shots. They were out, I believe. Doogie, what were the shots the other day?
Yeah, it was
41
like 41-20 something.
Yes. And they lost 6-4.
Yes.
Like you can't. If you score 4 on the road, you better damn well win.
Oh, no.
That's the
kidding.
thing. And now they got an opportunity. Like they've won 3 in a row. You lose 1. You got to keep going. Like there's
Florida's
no
coming back off a West Coast trip.
But
right?
the other thing too is Florida's got
Florida's
the
been
2
good, though.
defensemen back,
Ekblad and Montour.
and they're a good team.
They've
Now
been good.
Barkov's not playing tonight. Did you see that
he's
hit
out.
the other day?
They're saying day to day, but
That didn't look like a good hit.
It didn't.
was a knee on knee. I don't know if you saw that.
yeah,
But,
I
you
mean,
know-
they're going to be precautious like they should. He's off to a great start, Barkov, too.
Yeah, but there's bottom line is you're watching teams play throughout the weekend, and like this Philly team, I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, they just keep winning
won
games.
5 in a row.
Yeah.
Like
Washington's winning a ton.
Washington's won 4 in a row. I
Yeah.
think.
Anaheim did that for a bit, right? Anaheim won
Anaheim
like
played-
6 in a row or
But
something.
luckily, like with Edmonton, I think a wild card spot is like 18 points.
They
got
it's
11,
not
7
terrifying
points
teams,
right?
right? Like,
Against
it's not,
on the East, I still say it's all going to settle, but there's teams that are still getting points. Like they're hanging in there. Like
Well, you
who's the
look-
bottom of the East right now?
well, Columbus. I mean,
Columbus has lost 9 in a
they've
row.
they're
and
a
the
disaster.
healthy scratches we haven't gone into.
Patrik Laine got scratched.
Oh, my. He's
they're-
going to be healthy tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
they
going to
are-
be healthy.
Something is going on there where they are trying to send a message to the players because Johnny Gaudreau got sat down,
Mm-hmm.
Laine got sat down. Obviously, it was supposed to be Babcock. It's not. It's Vincent in there. He's had enough. He's going.
I could
don't
have told
care
you
who
that
sits.
garbage was going to happen before. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. And I said it before. It's like you want Johnny Gaudreau and Patrik Laine leading the charge for you and as an organization. You are screwed before you even step on the ice.
Yeah.
Screwed.
Well-
They need to be pieces following in behind other great players and leaders because if they're leading the way for you, you're doomed.
played
And I
19
credit the
games,
coach
too.
for doing that.
Yeah.
Because I
Well-
couldn't watch that garbage either. Patrik Laine should be a 40-goal scorer every year and one of the best players in the league. And all he cares about is his suits and his stupid glasses walking into the rink. It's insane. It's insane to watch what's going on with him.
I would like to know kind of what's going on there behind the scenes.
Laine has 3 points. Now, I
Yes.
think he was injured, right? He's only played 9 games.
Yeah, he got hit with that. That was a suspendable hit. That was
Right.
Rasmus Anderson.
He's got 2 goals and 3 points,
Yeah.
and he's a healthy.
Biggest waste of talent in the league. That guy should be
Terrible.
40 goals for fun with what he can do with the puck and how he shoots it. But he just doesn't care. All he cares about is the stupid pics with the suits and the glasses and playing video games and stuffing money into his jeans.
Well,
Trust me, I know enough
play
about
better.
it. It's insane.
Yeah, it's not a good look for them. Although, they've been bad for a while. I don't think it'd be any different with Babcock there, though. Like, how much different would it be? They're just not a very good team.
No.
But you do wonder if that rocked the apple cart at all. Like, all of the distraction, all the craziness of that. Maybe some of the players didn't want to see him go. Maybe some of the players.
You think that Laine liked Babcock enough?
I'm
where
not
he's
saying
only got
Laine in
3 points?
particular.
Maybe the top of their roster.
But I don't know.
Maybe a
Who
Boone Jenner
knows?
or something was like, hey, you know what? We need some structure in here. We need accountability.
Yes. Now, Babcock got what he deserved in the end, but that was a shock to the system right before the season started. It was like a week before the season started, or the camp started, and he's out. And now, Columbus is a mess.
Yeah.
The Detroit Pistons of the NHL. That's what they are.
They are.
Pierre LeBrun coming up. And Rod Smith on what was a great, great cup. catch up with the man himself, Rod Smith, in about 15 minutes. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app. All right, TSN 1050's Leafs lineup. Your chance to win Leaf tickets every week, all season long. Every weekday, we'll announce a current or former Maple Leaf player. And on Fridays, you'll have the chance to call in and name the Leaf lineup of the week. This week, we're giving away a pair of tickets to the Leafs Bruins December 2nd. Ooh. That's a big one. That's a Saturday night, too. Leafs Bruins December 2nd. That's a Saturday night. Plus, we're throwing in a $250 Vanilla Visa prepaid card with each pair of tickets to make it the ultimate game night. Vanilla Visa prepaid cards are available for purchase at Petro-Canada. There you go. Now we're really talking here. Today's player of the day, Mike Palmateer.
Wow, he was one of my favorites growing
He's
up.
A beauty, Mike Palmateer.
He would
that white and blue mask with the zigzag on it.
Mm-hmm.
He would make like a 2-pad stack from like center ice, like a slap shot. He would like
Dramatic.
Yeah, dramatic. I loved him growing up. Like he was one of. Obviously, I had favorite goalies growing up, but he was a guy that I got to meet him once, only once.
Yeah. Mike
Palmateer. Meet him a little bit more.
He's pretty involved in the alumni.
I don't know if he's around. I've never seen him around.
I think he does a number of like the skates and stuff. Oh, I feel like that's the case. I feel like
Not
I've
a big guy, right? Like
not a
kind
big
of
guy.
No, he's
not a
some
big
of
guy.
the older goaltenders, man, they're not like giants like
tiny
they are
little
now.
men.
No,
Yeah.
Alan Bester. Remember how small Alan Bester
Donnie
was?
Beaupre. Did Donnie Beaupre play here?
Yeah, he did. He had a cup of coffee here. Donnie Beaupre. Sneak him in there.
We should name some of the old school goalies. We'll talk about it later.
All right. Hour 3 coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.